Welcome to the Daily History Podcast, where every episode is a journey back in time. Today, we're unraveling the mysteries of ancient legislation with the Code of Hammurabi, the dawn of law and order. Join us as we step into the world of ancient Mesopotamia and explore how one king's vision shaped the very fabric of legal systems for millennia to come. Stepping onto the stage of ancient history, let us introduce a figure of monumental importance, Hammurabi, the sixth king of the first Babylonian dynasty, who ascended to the throne around 1792 BCE. In an era known for its fragmentation and perpetual conflicts, Hammurabi's reign stands out as a period of significant consolidation and cultural flourish. The Mesopotamian plain, often hailed as the cradle of civilization, was under his rule transformed into a thriving epicenter for trade, astronomy, mathematics, and notably, the written word. Under the watchful eyes of the gods, this land between the rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, became synonymous with innovation and unity. It is within this tapestry of Hammurabi's rule that the Code of Hammurabi finds its resonance. Not merely a collection of laws, the code is a cornerstone of legal thought, a blueprint for a just society that has reverberated through the corridors of time. It epitomized the pivot from personal vendettas to state-enforced justice. In this episode, we anchor our understanding in the significance of these ancient ordinances that paved the way for a more orderly and equitable world. Delving deeper into the annals of ancient law brings us to one of humanity's earliest and most complete legal documents, the Code of Hammurabi. Discovered in 1901 by a French archaeological team led by Jean-Vincent Scheil, this remarkable basalt stele was unearthed at the site of Susa in modern-day Iran. Originally commissioned in the Old Babylonian period, around 1754 BCE, by King Hammurabi himself, the stele recounts over 282 laws that have since etched their mark into the bedrock of legal history. It stands as a testament to the organized and complex society that flourished under Hammurabi's rule. The structure of the Code of Hammurabi is precise and systematic, offering us a window into the legal priorities of its time. Carved into stone, the preface proclaims the king's commitment to justice, followed by the laws themselves, which are segmented by topic and formulated with conditional statements, if, then, that detail the offense and its corresponding punishment. Each law is meticulously numbered, addressing various aspects of daily life, including trade, property rights, family law, professional contracts, and even medical practice. At the heart of these decrees lay principles that remain cornerstones of legal systems today: the presumption of innocence, the need for evidence in trials, and the notion of proportional punishment, though by modern standards, their practices often seem harsh. For instance, one of the most famous principles, often encapsulated by the phrase, an eye for an eye, established a form of justice that was both literal and figurative. The law dictated that retribution should be equal to the crime committed, but it also introduced gradations of justice, taking into account the social status of both offender and victim, thus creating a legal distinction that would reverberate through subsequent legal frameworks. Consider then the implications of such a law. While aiming to prevent excessive punishment, it also mirrored and reinforced the hierarchical nature of Mesopotamian society. Nonetheless, the eye for an eye statute has influenced countless judicial philosophies over the millennia, long outliving the empire from which it originated. Reflecting on such a legacy, we can see the rudiments of justice that continue to resonate, a balance between punishment and protection, order and equity, encapsulated within the very stone that carried Hammurabi's name through the ages. We now delve into Section 3, Legacy of the Code, examining the profound influence the Code of Hammurabi has had on the legal systems that followed. Venturing beyond its time, the Code's imprint on the concept of justice is undeniable. Let's journey through the corridors of history and trace these enduring impacts. The Code of Hammurabi, an ancient Babylonian code of law dating back to around 1754 BC, is one of the oldest deciphered writings of significant length found from the ancient world. Its laws have reverberated through time, affecting more than just the immediate successors of Hammurabi's empire. It was among the first sets of laws to establish the presumption of innocence and require the accuser to provide evidence. Fast forward to today, and you can see how these cornerstone principles are firmly embedded in legal systems worldwide. But Hammurabi's was not the only code of its era. Earlier laws, like those of Ur-Nammu, which is dated nearly 3 centuries prior, also set precedents. The Code of Ur-Nammu, believed to have been written around 2100 to 2050 BC, is distinguished for its focus on monetary compensation for physical harm, contrasting with Hammurabi's lex talionis, or the law of retaliation, exemplified by the an eye for an eye rule. Yet, the two codes converged on the paradigm that the strong should not oppress the weak, a sentiment resonating in the ethos of many legal frameworks that followed. Comparing these ancient codices reveals an evolutionary narrative of law, where principles of equity and retribution intersect and intertwine across the epochs. You see, the Code of Hammurabi and its precursors didn't just lay down the law, they laid the foundations for the rule of law as we perceive it today. The ripple effects include significant concepts like proportional punishment and social responsibility, elements that are still goals, if not always the reality, in contemporary jurisprudence. As we stand on the shoulders of these ancient legal giants, we contemplate how their legal philosophies have persisted and adapted over the centuries. Hammurabi's laws have become far more than ancient text. They are etched into the collective human progression of fairness and justice. Through millennia, their echoes are heard in courtrooms and legal texts, a testament to their lasting legacy. As we turn the pages of history and look at the far-reaching influence of the Code of Hammurabi, let's delve deeper into how this ancient legislation echoes through our modern-day legal systems. The Code's fundamental essence, creating a society where laws govern rather than the whims of rulers, is mirrored worldwide in our contemporary justice systems. Hammurabi's concept of a codified law, accessible and applicable to all citizens, is a cornerstone in the rule of law, a principle that virtually every democratic society strives to uphold today. With around 282 laws, the Code of Hammurabi detailed provisions for various legal situations, dictating everything from property rights to family law, areas still very much active in modern jurisprudence. Yet possibly the most debated aspect of Hammurabi's text is the lex talionis, the law of retaliation, famously encapsulated as an eye for an eye. In the present day, this principle is often considered a metaphor for proportional justice rather than literal recompense. It has given rise to extensive ethical debates, particularly about the use of capital punishment and other forms of harsh retributive justice. In academia and legal circles, the Code continues to serve as a reference point and a subject of study. It provides historical context for the evolution of legal thought and practice, with legal scholars examining the ways in which some of those ancient laws have informed or diverged from the complex jurisprudential systems we navigate today. The Code of Hammurabi also frequently emerges in discussions on international law, especially in the context of human rights, where the balance between punishment and protection remains a critical challenge. While we have come a long way from the harsh penalties of Hammurabi's time, the principles first etched in stone over 3,700 years ago have rippled through millennia, prompting us to continue raising questions about justice, equity, and the human condition. It's in examining documents like the Code of Hammurabi that we can better understand the intentions and functions of our own legal frameworks and ensure they serve society with a balanced hand, as befitting our evolved understanding of law and morality. Our tale takes us to the year 1901, when a discovery in Susa, ancient Elam, presently located in Iran, would shift our understanding of legal history. It was here that archaeologist Gustave Jecquier, under the supervision of Jacques de Morgan, unearthed a remarkable object, a 7-foot-tall diorite stele wreathed in mystery and engraved with Akkadian cuneiform script. Carved upon it was none other than the Code of Hammurabi, a set of laws that would tell us much about justice in the cradle of civilization. The journey of Hammurabi's stela did not end with its discovery. From the sands of Susa, where it was taken by the Elamites centuries before, it embarked on a new voyage, this time to Paris, France. The stele found a new home at the Louvre Museum, where it remains to this day, an emblem of our enduring search for justice and order. It stands tall, not just in stature, but in its significance as a symbol of the rule of law, a tangible connection to our past. But this stone is more than just a relic, it's a cultural milestone. The code's impact on societal views of law and structure is profound. It has become a touchstone in discussions about the origin of legal systems, a reference point against which we can measure the progress and evolution of our laws through the ages. As we gaze upon the stele, we are reminded of humanity's age-old quest for fairness and accountability. The Code of Hammurabi, etched into diorite, is etched just as indelibly into the legacy of human civilization. As we near the end of today's exploration, we reflect on the significance of the Code of Hammurabi, often heralded as one of the earliest and most complete legal documents in human history. Dating back to approximately 1754 BCE, this ancient Babylonian code of law has not merely survived the sands of time, it has become a cornerstone in understanding the evolution of legal thought and governance. Our journey from the dusty ruins of an ancient civilization to the sleek courtrooms of the modern era reveals a continuous thread woven by the principle of structured justice. Hammurabi's own words, etched in stone, assert the code's purpose to bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, to destroy the wicked and the evildoers, so that the strong should not harm the weak. This enduring premise, though manifested differently, remains at the heart of laws that govern societies around the world today. And so, as we stand amidst the legacy of Hammurabi's ancient laws, we are reminded that the echoes of Mesopotamia speak to us not just through relics and inscriptions, but through the living, breathing institutions that uphold the delicate balance of justice in our lives. May we continue to learn, adapt, and aspire for a world where the rule of law protects the essence of our human civilization. Thank you for joining us on the Daily History Podcast as we keep unearthing the bedrock of our shared past. As we close this chapter of the Daily History Podcast, thank you for tuning in to the Code of Hammurabi, the dawn of law and order. Your curiosity fuels our exploration into the past, and we hope you've enjoyed this journey into ancient legislation. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have a moment, leave a comment below about today's episode or suggest what ancient wonders you'd like us to uncover next. Remember, the suggestion with the most likes gets a spotlight in our future episodes. Until next time, keep making history every day.